In the modern city of York, England, archaeologists uncovered a Roman-era skeleton that challenged the traditional image of the empire. This wasn't a local Briton. Forensic analysis of the skull and teeth revealed the remains belonged to a woman of North African descent who had died in her 20s. Her grave goods added another layer of complexity. She was buried with a jet bracelet and ivory bangles, luxury items with origins tracing back to Poland and Germany. This mobility extended to the very edge of the frontier. At Hadrian's Wall, we find evidence of a man named Baradas, a civilian who had traveled over 3,000 kilometers from Palmyra in modern-day Syria. Baradas settled on this damp, remote northern border and eventually buried his wife, Regina, a native British woman and a former slave. These stories reflect a reality often hidden by statues of men in togas. The Roman world was a diverse, hyper-mobile population spanning 3 continents, where geographic and ethnic boundaries had become increasingly blurred. Rome's expansion was fueled by legendary violence. During his campaigns in Gaul, Julius Caesar's legions killed an estimated 1 million people to secure the territory. Military force is an effective tool for conquest, but it is a logistical impossibility for policing 50 million subjects indefinitely. Swords can seize a continent, but they cannot hold it for centuries. Maintaining a multi-continental state required a more sophisticated mechanism, an engine of cultural and legal integration. This integration began with hardware, the physical infrastructure designed to pull isolated territories into a unified system. Rome constructed 80,000 kilometers of paved highways, creating a reliable circulatory system for the entire empire. They secured the Mediterranean, clearing it of pirates and transforming the sea into a high-speed internal shipping lane. This connectivity enabled the mass production of goods on a scale previously unknown, flooding distant provinces with a standardized material culture. Archaeologists find identical red clay bowls and millions of stamped Spanish olive oil jars everywhere from North Africa to Scotland. This logistics network changed the nature of daily life, providing a shared consumer experience that helped culturally unify disparate populations. At the edge of the Sahara, the city of Timgad in modern Algeria shows how this cultural influence manifested on the frontier. Rome rarely forced its subjects to abandon their native gods or adopt Latin as their primary language. Instead, they used the enticement of urban luxury. They built grid-planned cities filled with public baths, theaters, and lavish libraries to attract the local elite. Alongside these luxuries, Rome introduced a legal mechanism for integration, the granting of official citizenship to outsiders. This system allowed individuals like Quintus Lollius Urbicus to rise from a remote Algerian village to the highest levels of the imperial military. Urbicus eventually achieved the rank of governor, crossing the empire to rule over the province of Britain. By offering the conquered a legal and political stake in the system, Rome secured long-term loyalty without the constant need for armed occupation. This integrated machine was fueled by a dark necessity. The stability and luxury of Roman life rested upon a system of extreme exploitation. The great monuments of the capital required immense resources. The massive monolithic columns at the Pantheon were carved in Egypt and transported thousands of kilometers by water and land. This wealth was built in places like the Spanish silver mines, where children as young as 4 were forced to labor in dangerous conditions to mint the empire's currency. Even at Hadrian's lavish villa, the sunlit marble of the elite world was supported by a hidden network of subterranean tunnels, where an invisible class of slaves worked to keep the estate running. The benefits of Roman integration were reserved exclusively for free citizens, functioning entirely on the labor of a brutalized and often invisible underclass. In 212 AD, the Roman project of assimilation reached its final evolution. Emperor Caracalla issued a decree that changed the legal definition of what it meant to be Roman. He granted full citizenship to every free inhabitant of the empire, a move that instantly incorporated over 30 million people. This decree detached the Roman identity from a specific city or ethnicity, establishing it as a universal status that could be held anywhere in the world. The physical walls of the empire eventually collapsed, but Rome demonstrated that a single state could integrate disparate populations into a unified political identity, a concept that continues to shape how we build nations today.